Yeah, okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to talk a little bit about the GCD changes on some abilities, and just some changes for monks overall. So, Windwalker monks in this recent build lost Fist of Fury stun, so you no longer have Fist of Fury stun as a PvP talent. It just doesn't exist. You have this heavy-handed strikes, which is essentially a peel. It reduces damage to people you hit by 20%. Stacking up to 3 times. So if you want to like peel for your healer who's caught in a stun, I guess you can like Fist of Fury the rogue. It's going to be significantly less effective than just stunning the rogue, you know, because you can evasion it or just, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's really, really weird. There's just like there's issues here for many reasons. Like in the past, like if you're just thinking about Legion, you imagine like trying to stop a Destro Warlock, get off a Chaos Bolt. Well, you're gonna have to pre-Fist of Fury it, and even if you get like a tick of Fist of Fury off, it's only gonna do 20% reduced damage. You're still gonna get one-shotted. Like, I don't know. I think Windwalker Monk's overall utility has been really, really, really damaged, to be honest with you. It may seem at first glance like, oh my god, monks are crazy now. Like, you get Disarm and you get like Ring of Peace. Like, in a world you could have, you know, Ring of Peace, and you could have Disarm, and you could have Leg Sweep, but like, and you have Paralysis. But if you actually think about it, like Paralysis cooldown has gone up significantly, like 300%, and went from 15 seconds to 45 seconds. Leg Sweep only lasts 3 seconds with a 1 minute cooldown now. So it used to be 45 seconds with a 5-second stun. Now it's 1 minute with a 3-second stun, so it's significantly nerfed. Both Paralysis and Leg Sweep, I get it. Maybe they were too good, but like now we're left with no Fist of Fury stun either, and this weird peel. And I feel like the overall rotation for Windwalker monks has made us a lot less about like kind of the setup we used to have, if you know what I mean. And we are essentially like a warrior with some utility. Like, the way I think about it is the only way a Windwalker monk is going to be strong right now is if they just do crazy damage. Like, it's going to be very binary. If Windwalker monks do good damage, they're going to be good. If they don't do good damage, they're not going to be good because they just don't have the type of setup potential like they had before with just a 3-second AoE stun. Like, all you have is this 3-second AoE stun. It's like really bad. It's on global. You effectively get one global into that Leg Sweep. It just like the overall, it's just really, it's clunky. It's really, really clunky. And when I first heard it, I wasn't like, I was kind of like, you know what, maybe that's not the worst thing ever, but I don't know, man. Like, that's one of the things I liked about Windwalker monks is you just had so much control over the fight. And maybe you didn't have the most consistent damage, but you had good burst and you had good control, and it felt good to play. Now it's like we're just a warrior. Like, if we don't do good damage, we're just gonna suck because our stuns are, we basically don't have stuns. Like, a 3-second stun is kind of poop, let's be honest, right? Like, a 3-second stun every minute, I'm sure we can all agree that that's pretty hot garbage, right? Like, AoE stuns were crazy, but now we are just left with no stuns. Dying in stuns is definitely shitty, but one thing you really have to think about is if all crowd control just gets removed and all stuns get removed and everything's just like, all that matters is damage. All that ends up mattering is just whoever does the most damage wins, and that's what I'm saying. Windwalker monks can potentially be good, but it's going to be because they have a lot of damage. Or they're just going to be like super aids. Like, even if they don't have good damage, I guess they can just be super aidsy with like Ring of Peace and Disarm, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know. It feels a little weird. If you think about Windwalker monk burst before, there's a lot of setups where, you know, you'll in-cap someone, and that's how you set them up for a kill. That's not really possible anymore with the GCD changes. So I'll give you, for instance, like in the past, if you wanted to set up on someone, you could in-cap them, okay? Touch of death them. You in-cap, you touch of death, you use your images, you Leg Sweep. Or even before, you wouldn't do that. You would in-cap, you would touch of death, you could Leg Sweep, use your images, energizing elixir, and you can immediately, with your images, out of that Leg Sweep, you could strike the Windlord, you can Rising Sun kick, you could jab, Blackout kick, and then you can get a Fist of Fury stun off, right? And that's a lot of damage. Now, you can't really do that. Like, with your only stun being 3 seconds, you don't have Fist of Fury stun to really follow it up. You don't have Blood Elf Silence anymore. Like, I don't know, you have to pretty much preemptively do stuff if you want to get out any sort of significant damage. Like, yeah, it's really strange. Like, I'm not exactly sure what your combo is gonna be. You're gonna have to like pre-image. So you pre-image, then you can maybe in-cap them, touch to death them. And then out of that, you have to immediately leg sweep, and then you literally get a global. You get a global while they're stunned. That's what's so awkward about leg sweep being so short. Is I feel like, yeah, it's crazy, and maybe it was too good in Mythic Plus, but I think in PvP it's a huge oversight to have stuns be that ineffective, especially in a world where like you have orcs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna stun an orc and it's gonna last 2.5 seconds. Like, it's really, really awkward. I think another thing that ends up happening is you really televise your damage, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily the worst for Windwalker Monks. You can image and image again, and you can kind of start fighting right away. But, yeah, I don't know. I think the overall, like I said, kind of set up one-shot potential of Windwalker Monks it's not there anymore. It's not going to happen. That's not something we really have available to us with a 3-second stun. So Windwalker Monks are going to be just about kind of railing your target with damage as much as you can. And yeah, hopefully we do good damage, because if we don't, we're not going to be a good class, I think. Unless we're just like super annoying with like Ring of Peace and stuff. But even then, I don't see it. I don't see it. We're just going to be like, we're going to be like a tank class, kind of. You know, so hopefully our consistent damage is really, really high. Otherwise, we're gonna be potato. Can you imagine a world where you're fighting against a mage and you Fist of Fury him, and he just blinks out of it? Like, that's your damage. That's how you hurt stuff. You know, or you Fist of Fury a warlock and he ports out of it, or you Fist of Fury a warrior and he heroic leaps away. Like, if Fist of Fury is a significant part of your damage, and people can just immediately run away without being in a stun or anything like that, it's gonna be really awkward, right? Or like you're hitting a Shadow Priest or a Discipline Priest and you Fist of Fury, you get feared on that global. Like, there's just so many ways to disrupt you. You get in-capped by a Mistweaver Monk. Like, it's something. It's something, and it's something we definitely have to test more. But I gotta say, man, like, at first I really didn't think much of the changes and stuff like that, and that's because Fist of Fury stun was still such a big part of our toolkit and still so strong. But now when I really think about it, it's like I feel like our class identity has been lost a little bit, and the overall playstyle of the class is going to be a lot different, I think. Just so you guys know, just want to be transparent with you. I mean, Windwalkers could still be really good, but they're going to play a lot differently than they did in the past, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see. We still have some good utility, but yeah, in terms of like the GCD changes, they're not the worst for monks, but it's one of those things where you kind of have to like preemptively do your damage. So like, you want to like, I can imagine running in on like a healer. Like, imagine the Stark Dummy was a healer and I wanted to kill him. It's like, as I'm moving in, I want to summon my images on him, and then I want to summon my Zwen on him, and then I can like Rising Sun Kick and like butter him up with everything here. Leg sweep, out of the leg sweep, like Fist of Fury into it. You know, just like, I don't know. It's just not nearly as clean as it was before. And like that 100 to 0 potential, maybe you liked before, that like rogues still have. That's not something that Windwalker Monks are really gonna have. Just so you know. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly go over that. Like I said, still a lot of potential for Windwalker Monks, but the overall playstyle is going to be changing significantly, and could be for the worse, could be for the better. We'll just have to see. If Windwalker Monks do a lot of damage, they'll be good. If they don't, then they'll be bad. Pretty much. Pretty much. It does make me sad though, because I know what happens when your class loses its stun, loses its control. it kind of sucks real bad. You guys know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm saying.